you remember my imaginary friends?
You can't remember if you're imaginary friends or the voices in your fucking head.
What's the difference? Do you remember what you would yell to me when I was off in my own world?
Earth to Gert.
Where are you, Gert? Earth to Gert. Gert. Earth to Gert. So I'm starting a podcast, and that's the title.
Earth to Gert.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Earth to Gert, finally. Life is insanely busy. Most of you know the chaos of what my personal and parental life looks like right now. So I just haven't been in a space to edit, and truthfully, it's not even that I haven't been in the space to edit. It's that I haven't been in the space to sit in my own shit. Today I have a buddy of mine who so bravely agreed to be my first male guest. Come on and talk to me about men's mental health. He reminded me that I had met him first, but Barber used to work with my sister Kim. But we crossed paths in our previous employments. Tom was one of the folks from, last summer that chatted with me about me doing the podcast and mental health, and doing this has just opened up so many avenues of conversation, because where else would that conversation come up? He's my sister's coworker, and we hang out playing volleyball, So I'm grateful that I do this, that I start these conversations. This one led to a therapy session for me. Tom and I recorded this, I think, at the end of May, and May was tough for me. This first month back into the podcast was tough. Again, it's just that sitting in that energy again. And when I sent the edited version of this convo to Tom to get his approval, when he texted back to say it was a go, he said, I finally got the courage to listen. And there was so much honesty in that, because it does take so much courage to even listen to yourself talk, because the sound of my voice is gross. I don't know why I have people listening. But I do, and I'm grateful, and I love being able to create these spaces to have these conversations. And I am so grateful to Tom for coming on and chatting with me. And I am so incredibly grateful to all of you that tune in and listen. So thank you so much for listening, for being here. And here's my chat with Barber. Hi, Barber.
What's up, Gert?
Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for having me. I was very excited when you reached out.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool that you're doing this.
Oh, well, good, because I'm feeling really insecure about it, so I appreciate you saying that. This season is the first time that I got some rejections of people saying that they're not ready to put their story out there or talk about mental health. So I appreciate you being brave enough to do this. You are the first guy that I've had on the show. I don't think your episode is going first. There's going to be another guy before you, but he was one of the ones that said no, but he did write a letter.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to open Men's Mental Health Awareness Month with him, and then I'll have your episode. So I really, like I just told you, I have no agenda for this. I just know that you are in the mental health field, and last season when I was doing this, we chatted about mental health. So that's honestly why I asked you to be a part of it. And how do we know each other? That's usually how I like to start.
So it's funny because like Kim and I are so close, but you're the OG. Like I met you first.
We did?
Yeah, when you worked at the housing authority.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I did know you there first.
Yes, when I was a care manager.
Yeah, that's right.
You were my hookup.
That's right. Yeah.
So that was it's funny because that was back with in the Kathleen days.
That's oh gosh, that's right. And now I'm sort of Kathleen again. I just started a new job in the world. So
I remember when you changed your voicemail to Gert Collier.
Oh.
And I was like, good for Gert.
Coming back. It's coming back.
Yeah. So that was I graduated in college in 2017. So that was, because I became a care manager right before Jeanette was born. So that was, she was born in January 2018. So like fall of 2017 probably was when we met, which is.
So you graduated and then went right into that job for, was it Ascend?
Yep, at Ascend, yeah. I'm sure we'll get into this at some point, but like my son was born my junior year of high school.
Okay. Yeah, that was definitely that's like the one thing I know about your past is that you had a child when you were in high school.
Yeah, so he was born when I was 17. So after that, it became like, I was very determined to not have a situation where like he was raised by his grandparents, which like looking back on it, the amount of support that we had is so immense that and I had so many opportunities to kind of have help that I rejected just because I was insecure and like I didn't want to have a situation where he looks back and like, oh, we lived at our Grams until I was 10 and then blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But really, like I could have set up his future probably better if I did that.
Right.
But I started working right out of high school, just as much like 60 hours a week, just trying to make it so that we could afford an apartment.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I met Alicia, who's my wife now, where at that point she was working in Albany as a nurse and she was making good money doing overnights. And she could tell, like I delivered pizzas for 8 years on and off.
Yeah.
And I was just miserable. And the thing about pizza, if you're at the right place, is like you can make good money. It's all cash.
Yeah.
But I'd work with people who were, in their 40s. And it's like, it's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
So she told me, if you want to make a change financially, like I'll take care of it. Like we'll survive.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back to school for psychology. I went to the very prestigious SUNY Plattsburgh branch campus at Queensbury.
Yeah.
Which
nothing wrong with that.
No, I know. It's honestly was the best thing for me at that time.
Yeah.
If I went to school right out of high school, if I went to college right out of high school, I don't know if I would have been mature enough to handle it. But then once you see how much you're paying and you see how much work it is, especially working full time, having a family, it really puts you in a position where it's like, this has to work.
Yeah.
And I have to pour 100% of myself into this.
Right.
So it was almost, it felt like I was in a time machine where it's like you get in it and then you get out and you're like, how
did I just survive that?
Yeah, like that was a normal day.
Yep.
Was getting up at 8, going to school till noon, and then working 1 to 11, and then doing it all over again the next day.
And then somehow raising a family, raising a child
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so the way I got into it was Alicia was like, if money didn't matter, you could do anything. What would you want to do? And I was like, I want to do something where I can help people. So most people, when they think of that, they think of like social work.
Yeah.
But there were no social work schools locally. So it's funny now looking back, because I'm not as brave as I was back then, because I just know more now. Like I was ignorant enough to do stupid things that just worked out.
Yeah.
So I went to the branch campus and I just walked into the dean's office. I didn't know it was the dean. I was just like, hey, I was wondering if someone could help me out. And it just so happened that it was the dean.
Yeah.
And I sat down with him for like an hour and I was
that's
like,
great.
I want to do psych, I guess. And he was like, have you ever taken a psychology class? And I was like, I took one. And he was like, okay. What do you want to do? I was like, I want to like help people. He was like, all right. And he sat down, signed me up for classes. And then 2 years later, I was back in the field. And that's when we met, was like right after that.
Nice. So you went from Ascend, you did how many years did you work there?
I worked for 7 years there.
Okay, as a care manager.
So,
or did you bounce around different titles?
Yeah, a lot of bounce around. So I started as a residential specialist at the congregate care homes. So that's like the highest level of care for people with mental illness. And then I became a care manager from there. And then I became the coordinator at Housing First in Hudson Falls. And then I went to Cooper Street. And then I left there to work at Great Meadow, which is where I met Kim.
And you became my sister, Kim, that we're talking about as my sister.
Yep.
And you became her work husband.
Yeah. We were office mates, which was great because like when you work in that kind of environment, like you kind of need somebody that thinks similar to you.
Yeah.
Like once she switched departments, like I was not long for that for the BHU anymore.
Yeah.
And luckily our boss like saw it and put us back together in a different department.
Yeah, she was very excited for that, I remember.
Yeah.
You sort of need, someone to go through the trenches with you that...
Yes.
That's
It's a place you need some sort of like-minded community.
Yeah.
And I think also one of the reasons that Kim and I got along so well is that we are both very open about mental health and our mental health specifically.
Yep.
Because there is, in that environment, there is kind of a, taboo's not the right word, but it's more like you're so vulnerable in there that if you make yourself more vulnerable, like you kind of, it can scare you a little bit. Like you feel like you're letting your guard down.
Yeah.
But luckily, and the CO's there. I mean, I still have friends that I made there, CO wise.
Yeah.
Like for me, knowing that they were there to protect me made it a lot more easy to be vulnerable. Which, like for them, I totally understand why that would be more difficult.
Right.
But yeah, no, in environments like that, having like mental health check-ins is extremely important. And I'm an only child raised by a single mother, so like the way that because I know like when we first talked, about like men's mental health and things like that is, I have a different perspective just because the environment that I came from, like I was always surrounded by women.
Yeah.
So
that helps in your willingness to talk about it.
Yeah, I always say that.
Yeah.
I can't fix anything, but we can talk about our feelings. That's it's a different skill set that I have.
Yeah.
Like it's comical how not handy I am.
Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that. I think.
No, I know, but it's just like when if Alicia and I, like we've had a bunch of work done on our house, and the contractors come in and they'll start talking to me, and I'm like, well, I'm not your guy. Like you got to talk to the boss. You got to talk to the man of the house.
That's definitely Alicia.
Yeah, I'm not here to. You could say 100 things and I will have no idea what you're talking about.
It's good to know your place, your role.
Yeah, no, it's a role that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been. This is funny. So when I was little, I didn't talk till I was almost 3.
Really? Well, okay.
Um,
I have 2 kids of my own. I can't even remember when they started talking.
it
Sorry,
was
children.
it was late,
Okay.
and they used to call me Bam Bam because I would just like run into things, and I would hit my head on corners and like not cry, like I was
So-
extremely tough.
Can we pause and tell
Sure.
this one story? This still tracks for you today because we also play volleyball. That's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
our things that we do, and you almost killed me. Do you remember?
Yes,
remember
yeah.
that time?
Well, I'm also
You came out of nowhere. I went to pass the ball over, and you were. I should have let the back row take it, but you didn't call the ball. I didn't know you were going for it. All of a sudden, you killed me. So yes, back to your story of being a child running into things.
yeah. Well, and also I'm
Very aggressive.
no, I'm just competitive,
Yes.
like
yeah.
to a fault.
No,
Like,
that's why I want you on my team all the time.
Like
Even
it-
if you kill me, go for it.
It's a problem.
That was the right move.
Like I don't let my kids win at things. Like what?
I never did either.
One of the first when Alicia and I first met, my now wife.
Yeah.
We were playing Wii bowling, and she started beating me, and I got like upset. Like
You didn't throw the controller at the TV.
no, but I would just, and I was like trying to control it, which is
Yeah.
how bad it is for me. Is
Yeah.
that I was trying to control it, and I was still like a psycho. So she and she told me, a year later,
Yeah.
that she was like, yeah, I almost was like, I don't know if I can.
I was just
be
gonna
with this
say,
guy.
she even married you.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm bad. But as a kid, I would like bump into things. I wouldn't cry. Like I shattered my nose at 7. I didn't cry. Like I'm very tough, and it's nothing that I've worked at. It's just I was just born that way.
Yeah.
But if you yelled at me as a kid, I would turn into a puddle. Like I was very, very, very sensitive.
Yeah.
And it got to the point, like, because I didn't talk and because I bumped into things that, like, my mom got me tested to make sure that, there was no developmental issues.
Yeah.
Like, they were afraid that I was autistic or
Yeah.
had some sort of developmental delay as a kid. And my mom says that once, I didn't talk till I was 3, and then once I did, I didn't stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always just been a very, very sensitive person.
Yeah. Has that held you back? How do you think that has affected you as a human? Does it still affect you now?
So that's something that I've really grappled with.
Yeah.
Because throughout my life, it has manifested in different ways. So, like when I was in middle school, high school, I was the class clown. Like I liked making people laugh. I would embarrass myself on purpose because if it's my idea, then it's like me taking the power of it. And and it's funny because I look back at that time and like I don't even associate with that person. Like it feels like a totally different human being, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because that's a sign of growth.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's also like I still grapple with it because I look back on things. I have I'll try to sleep at night and then I'll think of every shitty thing I've ever done and just like spiral and be like, oh, such a dickhead.
That's anxiety, bud.
No,
Right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But being that person, it was a shield to hide my sensibilities.
Yeah.
Like I had a buddy who was once like, I wish I was more like you. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you just don't give a shit. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, I give so many shits. It's like not even, like it's paralyzing. Like it's not even funny.
It's interesting you bring this up because that's sort of what I've been thinking a lot about recently is how I present to the world or how I had presented to the world. Because someone said to me, like, they had no idea I had so much anxiety. Like, if they just knowing me, what I showed everybody versus what I really, like, felt inside is completely 2 different worlds. And the only place I ever really felt confident was on the volleyball court or like playing any sport. So people knew that about me, but like anywhere else, I'm pretty much very quiet, reserved, and like you said, that very sensitive person. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
Yeah, no, I mean, one thing that I really dug into when I went and got my degree in psychology was I look at pretty much everything through an evolutionary basis. I think that's something cool that psychology does as opposed to social work is that psychology works in the is and social work works in the ought.
okay.
And when it comes to the is, we grew up in packs of 150 people. And we're pack animals. And if you were shunned by the group, it was a death sentence. Like you couldn't survive on your own. So I think that we are hardwired for acceptance. And it takes a long time to realize that you want to be accepted for who you really are. And not like a front that you put on to make sure that people like you.
Right.
And that was something that I really struggled with when I was younger.
Good thing Kim brought toilet paper. I don't know why it's making me cry. Keep going.
No, but it's...
This is why, I'm going to get the toilet paper because I know I'm going to need it. We had zero agenda, and the way that this is, the way that this conversation is coinciding with everything that is like happening within my brain. Have you listened to the episodes that I've put out this season so far?
Yes.
So this is all like real time. Like these are... I had wanted to do these all like in advance and just, tidy them up right before they release. But I'm literally like, to do the even the intros, there's a lot of emotional work that goes into it for me.
Well, it's very vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That's funny. So I got into podcasts early, 2009, because that's when I was delivering pizzas.
Yeah.
So it's the type of job that puts you in a spot where you can drive around, you can listen.
Right.
It makes the day go by much faster.
Yeah.
I like death metal, so they don't play that on the radio.
Right.
So, and especially back then, before Spotify and stuff,
right.
You would have to
before you could just choose whatever playlist
you'd have to
you
lug
wanted.
CDs around and stuff. So I got really into podcasts, and then probably 2010, me and a buddy bought a bunch of equipment to do podcasts, and I sat down. We tried 6 different times, and I'm a babbling idiot. I can't.
That's literally when I'm struggling with, do I type it all out first and write something almost like a journal entry and then try to record it, and then you stumble over your versus just being authentic and just trying to wing it. But then I go off on these stupid tangents, and then I feel insecure about them.
Well, the thing is, if you're authentically you, you're going to attract the people that are drawn to that.
Right. That's what people try to keep reminding me.
So do you want, again, kind of harken back to the mask you put on, especially as a teenager, to make sure you're accepted.
Yeah.
I don't want to be I know that there are people who I haven't seen since back then that see me as that guy, and it drives me crazy. It's so embarrassing to me now.
Yeah.
To be because it's I wasn't a bully per se, but I like to be funny, and sometimes people are the butt of jokes, and especially my friends and I, we say horrific things to each other, but it's because we love each other.
Right.
But you have to develop the skill of knowing that they know it's from a place of love.
Right.
And I wasn't always great as that. Like that was a skill that I had to develop
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like be who you are, and you'll develop the audience that
Right.
like that.
Yeah, and I'm someone who cries very easily, and it's been really hard to. I mean, there used to be a point where I couldn't even physically speak while I was crying. Like as soon as I got that lump in my throat, like no words would come out after that, and like so many relationships I struggled with because they wanted me to talk and I like physically couldn't. It's not that I didn't have, there was a lot of times where I didn't have any words to what I was feeling, but like I just physically couldn't. But this plays into or ties into what my EMDR experiences have been. A lot of times what comes up is being picked on and bullied and being that fear of being shunned from the group, my family, and then, later on in school, and then grappling with my sort of, I guess, survival skill to stay within the group is to join them. And so I did the bullying as well, and shit rolls downhill, and I then took what I had learned and passed it down, and even like how we operate within our family, like our making fun of one another is like a love language. So I am struggling with like how much of it is, like you said, like balancing that you say horrific things to your friends, but it's sort of with love. Like,
Right.
Is that what my parents were doing in making fun of me when I cried? You know what I mean? Versus just being cruel human beings. Like,
Well, I think it's also a defense mechanism where, like, for speaking of parents, so my dad passed away almost 10 years ago now. He was an alcoholic, like essentially drank himself to death. Just didn't take care of himself, had cirrhosis. And as a kid, I was very angry about it.
yeah.
And now that I'm older, I see a lot of myself in him. Like, to the point where I'm almost, I mean, I'm not glad that he went through what he went through, but I try to look at it as he went through what he went through so I wouldn't have to. Like, just kind of seeing the pitfalls of living your life that way. Because my dad was a very anxious person, but he never showed it.
Right.
But he was avoidant.
And I'm assuming, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but drank to cope with that anxiety.
100%. I mean, he grew up in a house of, like, he was one of 7. His dad, was in the Navy, like, fought in Korea. Worked at a bar, like, would work at the paper mill, and then the family owned a bar. So he was home 8 hours a day, and that was to sleep.
Sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, and when you grow up in that environment, you're kind of like searching for attention because we have this desire to be, cared for, and when you're fighting over it with 7 different people and there's not a dad in the house, not in like not that he didn't want to be in the, but that back then, like someone provided,
right,
and you didn't see that person,
right.
And I think my dad didn't know how to handle that anxiety, and the booze was a shortcut.
Yeah.
My mom used to say that my dad was the life of the party. The problem was the party stopped. Which is like something that, because I was the life of the party. Like, I was the manic, let's make sure everyone's having a good time, because if everyone's having a good time, then no one's mad at me.
Controlling the environment.
But luckily, I have the insight to know that that's not a sustainable way to go about life.
Yeah.
But he was also, because I think he grew up in like a stoic environment, like just talking about crying. Like I coach wrestling now, but I grew up wrestling.
Yeah.
And my first 3 tournaments, I was 7 years old. I won my first 3 tournaments. The last tournament of the year, I lost in the finals, and I did not handle it well. I got very upset. I cried, and my dad took me behind the bleachers, and he like put me up against the wall and was like, "If you care about this, like, if you're taking this seriously, then we're not gonna do this anymore. Like, this is supposed to be fun."
Yeah.
Which I know where he was coming from, but it's also like, A, it's okay to care,
Yeah.
and B, that just my little brain at the time was just like, oh, tears equals bad. And I didn't cry again really until I was probably out of high school, like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Like I didn't cry when my grandfather died. Like I just had like this,
You think just from that one moment where...
No, 100%. Yeah, just like you be stoic. Like that's how men behave.
Right.
You don't show emotion. But it's sad to me looking back because it's like, oh, that's what killed him. It was like that mindset. I have so much more empathy for him now with the time that's gone by. Like I almost clean up memories a little bit where, say a memory that would make me very upset. Now it makes me like, oh, I just want to give that guy.
Look at a different...
Well, I want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
Like he never got a hug, Like he wasn't like an I love you guy. And that's one thing that I'm probably too much of is I'm a big...
I don't think there's too much of it.
Well, like my daughter.
Yeah.
She's 8. And I am just like, Jeanette, I love you so much.
I don't
every 3 seconds.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Listen, for a kid who starved for that and is now looking back at the fact that my family didn't say that, we didn't show it. It's not that we didn't love each other and that we don't love each other. It just wasn't, it's just not, we didn't do emotions. We didn't show emotions. We didn't talk about them. We got punished if we had them, like you were saying, sort of. So I don't think there's too much.
But like my mom emotionally, I'm very much like my mother. Like my mom was very, I love you constantly, still is. And my dad wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's almost like then I just longed for that from him. Like that's what I wanted.
So you're giving that to her?
Which is manifested in like I'm a big, like I need attaboys, which I wish I didn't.
Everybody has a different love language.
Right.
It's okay to need, what would that be?
Affirmation or whatever. But yes and no. Like yes in the sense of like, tell people how you feel. Like it's okay. But no in the sense of relying on external validation is probably not super healthy.
Yeah. I think the relying part.
Right. Like if that's where
it becomes maybe.
If that's where your self-worth is coming from.
Right.
That's probably not a healthy way to go about life. Which for me, I mean, that has been a problem where if I'm being a good person, but the tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, am I being a good person? Because there's the mindset of like, you do what's right. Character is doing what's right when no one's watching.
Right. Integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, which, I mean, I fall short, but I try my best to be ethical in all spaces at all times. But also like I need someone to pat me on the head and say like, it's okay.
I think that's okay to need that.
You're doing great.
It's okay to have needs like that and to want that and ask for that, right?
Yeah, no, it is, but that's been part of my growth is to not rely as heavily on that.
Yeah.
Say if if it's a pie chart, there is a healthy balance
Yeah.
somewhere in there
Yeah.
that I'm trying to find.
Yeah, definitely being able to give that reassurance to yourself first is important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Are you in therapy? Have you ever done therapy?
I did therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's really besides Alicia being so supportive, it was,
Mm-hmm.
well, what got me into therapy was I was just miserable, and Alicia was like, you need to go talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't negotiable.
How old were you? How old was your
20.
daughter?
So Jeanette wasn't born yet.
Okay.
I was like 20. So we met when I was 24. I was probably 25,
Okay.
maybe 26.
Okay.
No, 25.
So your son was,
So he was like 8.
yeah.
Um,
Were you guys married?
Not yet.
Okay.
We got married when I was 27.
Okay.
So like we got married, I graduated, and then she got pregnant with Jeanette, and that was all in like a 6-month span.
Damn.
Did it in the right order this time though, unlike the first one. But she told me, like, you need to go talk to somebody. Like,
Yeah.
I was just miserable, and so I got into therapy, and it wasn't. I didn't find the therapy helpful, which, in the sense of, there wasn't any really deep stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was more kind of surface level,
Mm-hmm.
and she was trying to peel back like the layers of the onion, which I can appreciate. But and also I was trying to make her think that I'm cool more than trying to help me.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a moment where she said, "You're really smart. Why do you work in a pizza place?" And I was like, "Oh, like that's the problem." So that was part of the catalyst that got me to go back to school.
Okay.
So it was more the act that I was willing to go to therapy was more of the positive than the therapy itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess at the end of the day, it's all the same.
I think, yeah, that's a huge part of it is just taking ownership of it, of your health, and actually like following through. I think that was always rewarding for me in see even not even just like therapy, but any tool that I used for my health, like whether it's like choosing to eat better or whatever, you just get that reward from taking care of yourself, right?
Yeah, no, and it's yes, and like speaking of food and stuff, like I'm also like obviously I've wrestled in high school, which
yeah, let's talk about the wrestler's mindset around food.
It's tough, and it's not. I mean, I coach now, so I coach at Glens Falls,
Yeah.
and our guys don't really cut weight, which I'm very
Good.
happy about.
Yeah.
But they're also they just have more information.
Mm-hmm.
You can go look at a YouTube video.
Right.
The amount of stuff that's out there now, like technique wise and mindset and nutrition. Like when I was wrestling, that was something you had to like drive to Pennsylvania to go to a camp for.
Right.
And now it's just at your fingertips. So kids are much smarter about it. I was like I wouldn't eat for 3 days, and then once I made weight, I would eat like McDonald's and Subway and go crazy and just feel like hot garbage. So I've had this weird relationship with food where then, I got kind of heavy, and then about 5 years ago, I started dieting, and then, but I don't do things halfway.
Yeah.
Like it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like I was running 80 miles a week. I was counting every single thing that was going in my body, and I got down to like 179.
Yeah.
Which is not a healthy. Like I should be like 200 pounds. It wasn't. I mean, I shouldn't be 250 either. But I went from 240 to 179 in the span of like 8 months, and it was just being a psycho.
Yeah.
And then
it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable either. No. So now I live my life in a way where it's like I can't let it get too out of control. But if I make food an obsession, it goes the wrong way for me.
Hang on one second. Let's gotta let the train go by.
It's funny because I grew up not too far from here, and the train was at the end of my street too.
Yeah, I mean, I miss it. I love the sound of the train, but it's bad for podcasting.
Yeah, like it's to the point where it doesn't even register that it's happening.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
same. Okay, so back to the food.
So now I just say I'm gonna be, I lift weights regularly.
Yeah.
I go for hikes. I try to walk when I play golf. Like I just try to be active.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of the food's gonna fall where it may.
Yeah, and you're for the most part you eat whole foods, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, I definitely. I'm a sucker for fast food, but I try not to do that as much.
I mean, we all are, but as long as there's like some sort of balance and you are giving your body the nutrients it needs most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a time thing. Like eating well is difficult.
It's very hard. Yeah. Not only is it's time consuming. That's why I'm grateful for the last few years of being able to work part-time so that I could come home at 2:00 and make my kids dinner before we ran off to whatever field or court we had to be at.
Yeah, especially when you have kids that, I mean, my kids are spaced out, so it's almost like more of a slow drip of busy than it being chaos all at the same time.
Yeah.
But if you want to food prep, you need to dedicate 2 days a week to food prepping. And if you want to, and it's expensive, and it takes time, and you also have kids that you're like, well, I don't want them to be negatively obsessed with food.
Right.
Too.
Right.
You don't want it to be like the stranglehold that it's like, oh, if I have a s'more, like I'm gonna get sick.
Right. Right.
So it's a balance. It's definitely something I need to be better at, and something that Alicia and I have talked about, like that we need to make it more of a priority than we are currently.
Yeah, but you guys are doing, I mean, the reason I know this is I dog sat for you and I had to save your meat.
Yeah.
So you had a whole freezer full of organic, local meat in your freezer. And then I also had to tend to your huge garden. I don't know if you guys are still rocking that.
Oh, we are. Yes.
So you guys are growing your own food when you can, and
yes, and it's not just a nutrition thing. It's also like kind of an ethical thing. If you can find if you can make friends with a butcher, I mean, that's always been kind of like my dream.
But it's so much healthier for you.
Oh, for sure. But like, I love the idea of like, almost like it's a 1950s movie where like you walk in the butcher shop and they're like, "Hey, Tom, got something good for you today." Like to have that communal. We should be living like that. No, we should.
We 100% should be more living community, tribe-ish sort of.
Yeah, that's what we long for, and I think that the half of the problems that we have now as a society is that we are, and this isn't a novel thought, but we are more connected than we ever have been. Yeah, I have 1,000 Facebook friends. But there's no situation in which we evolved to know 1,000 people.
Right.
And now you're getting news on 1,000 people.
I was just gonna say, and now we're hearing the heartbreak stories of 1,000 people, and our nervous systems were never designed for that much information.
But we also we substitute that for actual interaction, where we think like for instance, I'm in a group chat with 10 of my buddies. We play fantasy football together. We talk every day. Yeah. I might see them 3 times a year. Yeah. But we talk every day, so we think we're having this connection. Right. But it's really like it's a substitute for the real thing. And I think that because we think that we're getting the real thing and we're not, it's like, and then that makes it easier to avoid it, because now it's a big deal if we actually get together with friends or with community, and people just forget how to interact with each other.
That's one of the things that this podcast is doing for me. Is I learned somewhere in the pandemic, we were forced to isolate, right? So when I did get together with people, it was so much more intentional. And we were having those conversations that I feel like we used to have prior to cell phones and text messages and social media. And it became a tool for me. Like I felt so energized and so alive after these meaningful conversations than I had in the previous, probably 10, 5, 10, I don't know when, yeah, probably 10 years when the internet came out, social media. Before, like, so I started, Reagan and I think she was one of the humans that I had intentional conversations with during the pandemic. And I was like, this is what we're missing as people. Like, these are so helpful to just, because in the texting world, those quick, you don't get to sit down and get into the depth of what life is like.
Well, and just tone and reading facial expressions.
Right.
And
Right. And like if we had texted this conversation, you wouldn't have known that I was about to cry, and I would have hid that from you. So
right, yeah.
Totally would have missed that human connection.
Well, and also with text messaging, you can flush out your thought before you say it, and sometimes that's not always the best.
Right. Agreed.
Like you're editing yourself. Again, going back to the authentic you thing, it's like that's not necessarily the authentic you. That's the
Right.
That's the you that you, if this was read as a court disposition, you'd want them to see.
Right.
It's not like your unfiltered reaction to something.
Right.
Like even right now as I'm talking, I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying. I should be. I'm probably more than most because I'm like, oh, this is being recorded. But I'm not going back and like going through with a fine-tooth comb and making sure I sound exactly the way I want to come off.
Right. And that's been my goal too, is I just really want to capture authentic conversation. And that's why I don't come in with any agendas. That's why I don't really have any like questions prepared, because I just want the authenticity of whatever happens in the conversation. And then, with full disclosure that if we ever talked about anything that you didn't want to get aired to the public, like I would edit it out, and that would just stay between you and I, so I didn't give you that disclosure beforehand. I probably should have.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I should say that, all of these thoughts are my own and not of any of my current or past employers,
True. Yes, we did mention some employers, but there was a point I wanted to bring this back to our work that we do. There was something that was said. I forgot. Maybe it'll come back.
Well, how do you deal with, I mean, this is a little bit off topic, but
it's okay.
How do you deal with being someone who is open about their mental health, is a mental health advocate, but then also working in the mental health field? Because working the field is kind of a double-edged sword because it requires people that take it seriously, who are open enough to discuss mental health. But then we're also the people that are probably most affected by pouring into other people. Yeah,
I'm struggling in the balance. I'm not gonna lie and say that this transition has been easy. So I see people in crisis every day. I see people in psychosis. I see people detoxing from substances that have affected their brains and their behavior. I am coming into this job from the patient's perspective. I very well could have been in their shoes. I very well could have been someone that turned to drugs to cope with my anxiety and abused it. I very well could have been that woman that comes in suicidal and just sits in her bed, doesn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I have had people close to me go there, and being the person that walks around that floor and has to interact with these humans every day, like, it takes every bit of energy that I have. I'm gonna cry again.
Well, and if we're having a mental health conversation, I think that it is kind of important in my mind that there is the, you know, like I'm an anxious person. I'm someone who deals with bouts of depression, things of that nature. That's different than someone who is in active psychosis.
Yes.
There's kind of two brands of mental health. There's like the mental health that, talk therapy is going to help, but like medication is the route.
Absolutely.
And then there is the mental health that, like, if you focus more on taking care of yourself and eating right and exercise and talking things out, like, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Someone with full-blown psychosis, active schizophrenic, I don't care how many push-ups they did that day. Like, that's not going to make the delusions go away.
Great.
So you treat them differently, not in like in the literal treatment sense, not in like you talk to them different.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a tough environment to be in, because, and I know of or have met, I would say 90% of the people with schizophrenia in Warren and Washington counties.
Yeah.
And when you talk to them when they're doing well, and when you see them, decompensating, it's like the person that is not there.
Right.
And especially like if they're being assholes or things like that, like, you keep in the back of your mind, like, oh, doing well, this person would be mortified if, they saw a video of this.
Right.
And I think, and that's a problem I do have as kind of a society, is that, we treat those people, because we see them when they're at their worst, because that's when they're more apt to be in public. They're not thinking of like I'm having a hard time, I should go get some help, like that. Right. That's past. And just the kind of vitriol as a society as we have for these people, like, is very upsetting to me. My experience working in the prison as well was, I would get case files on guys, and I would go and look at their backstory, and I'm like, oh, this guy was fucked from the beginning. Yeah. And we as a society, this is a societal failure. Not saying that people don't have agency, because they do. But when you see someone who's like, oh, grew up in foster care, and then was sexually abused, and then got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, grew up poor, things like that, and then it's like, yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
Right, exactly. Like their brains were affected.
I think as a society, just grace needs to be a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, just not being hard on ourselves, not being so hard on others.
Right.
Understanding where people are coming from. Like, not to get really off into a tangent, but I'm not even like a big free will guy. Like, I think so much of what we are happenstance, genetics. Like, I've listened to past episodes of Earth to Gert about, like generational trauma.
I was just gonna say, what do you think of the take on epigenetics, in that even though we're born with these certain genes, our lifestyle and environment turns them on or off?
Yeah, no, I mean, from an evolutionary standpoint, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And, if you, like, for me, like, again, relating back to my dad, is that his alcoholism, like, I have that in me. Like, I know that's there. like the impulsivity, the want for quick hits of serotonin and dopamine, like that's, I get where that comes from. And that's not something like I asked for. That's not something he asked for.
Right.
That's just the roll of the dice you get. You know, I see people who are like super stoic or super motivated in a way that I know that my brain will not let me be. And I can work towards it, but there's, you know, I'm never gonna be able to dunk. Like I'm 5'8".
Right.
Like that's out of the cards.
Right.
Now, if someone can dunk, you know, if Victor Wembanyama is 7'6" and he can dunk without jumping, that doesn't mean that he's like better than me. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's just the roll of the dice, and I'm
Right.
sure there are negatives that come with that.
Right.
It's
Everybody has their own unique set of circumstances
yeah,
that they're given.
right. You're not. You get to choose how to play the cards, but you're not dealing them.
Right.
And I think that we judge people based on how that they didn't play the cards like perfectly, and it's like, well, they didn't have the same cards you did. If you were them, you would act as they do. Because if you wouldn't, then what you're saying is that you are like a superior being.
Right.
And like I don't want to ascribe to that.
Right.
So I think just giving people grace and being like, oh, if I were you and I had your experiences and your brain chemistry, I would be you. I wouldn't be somebody else.
Yeah, and just not judging how anyone else plays their own set of cards.
Yeah, and I think just as a community, I think more people thinking that way would probably be helpful.
Yeah.
I think we give each other way too much shit. And which is funny because I give myself so much shit that it's like debilitating sometimes.
Yeah.
But I should practice what I preach. But I'm much better looking at other people than I am myself.
Yeah. Well, that just reminded me of last summer when we were talking about mental health. You showed me your phone and how you had all these affirmations that you would read and tell you. Do you still have it? Do you still do it?
Let me see.
What do you got for today?
Oh, this would be embarrassing.
You don't have to share.
No, I got it. So it says, it's not about you. Get up the first time. Don't hit snooze. Do what needs to be done. Just get it over with. Embrace the suck. Do something nice for Alicia every day. Your kids look up to you. Be worthy of that. Read part of a book every day. Be disciplined with food. Go to bed on time. Remember 21-year-old you would kill to have your life now. Reach out to a friend every day. And remember, it's not about you.
If it's not about you, who's it about? What was your thought behind writing that one?
I'm an only child. As a kid, the universe was like around me. You know, like my mom's whole life was me based. And I think when you grow up like that, you kind of, it breeds selfishness. But part of the not being about you is also like being an anxious person and caring what other people think about you. You know, again, going back to where we started, where it's like, you know, I try to go to sleep at night and I just think of every shitty thing I've ever done and just feel terrible. It's like the person who I did the shitty thing to probably hasn't thought about it.
Has no idea. Right,
yeah, and like I'm still beating
it.
myself up over it. That, you know, it's like you're not that important that people care. And that's not a bad thing. You know, like get over yourself. So it's more that, or even I can say with my kids, you know, you have this desire to make like core memories and like, oh, they're gonna look back on this someday and be like, oh, I did something really cool with Dad. And taking the perspective like that's not really what the goal is.
Yeah.
It's more, like kids don't, I mean, you can attest to this, I'm sure. Like, you don't really remember what happened, like what happened to you. You remember how it made you feel.
I was just gonna say, when I went through EMDR and like you think about these, it's definitely just this general feeling of what things were like, what the energy was like. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So my parents got divorced when I was like 10, but they never fought in front of me.
Yeah.
But it would like, it's almost be better if they did. Because you would walk into a room and you would feel like this like cloud of smoke that you're like, am I crazy? Like things are tense right now, right? Like, but they're pretending that it's not, but you can feel it. So then that like makes you be kind of on your toes all the time.
Yeah.
Which is very common of like children of alcoholics, is that you become really good at reading a room because it's like a protective mechanism.
Yeah.
And it also turns you into, I think that's part of what made me like I'll like, look at me, I'll be the crazy guy, is because it's like, we're all happy, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
everything's good.
Yeah. Trying to control that environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I now, like with my kids, like even with my son, and he's 19 now, but like I tell him all the time, like, I love you. Like I'm overly, I give him hugs. I try to create an environment where it's like, someday they're gonna look back and like, oh, I was raised in like a really loving place. Like that's super important to me. Like that feeling of
Looking
love
at
and acceptance.
I was just going to say, looking at the hierarchy of human needs, love and acceptance is on there. So you're providing that. I don't think there's absolutely anything wrong with it. And I think this is like where our generation is doing better than the generation before, like me, Kim, and Reagan talked about. None of this is like to place blame on our parents or that generation or the generation before them that created them. It's to understand us. And I think I remember when Kim got pregnant with Ryan, and so I was 15, and one of the first things that I said is, I will always tell that kid how much I love him. I will always say I love you to that kid, because I grew up in a household where we didn't. I think that's one of the areas where we're doing better than the generation before us, is that we are showing that love.
Yeah, and I have a stepdaughter as well. I met Alicia when she was in kindergarten. So, and she's graduating in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I've been around for, the majority of her childhood. And one thing that I'm very proud of, and proud of her, is she is a very like, I love you person. And I think part of that is because I'm an I love you person. And I'm obviously, we're not genetically related, but we have this connection where we can talk to each other about feelings, and we can.
Yeah. I think that's amazing.
And like, we don't go to bed until you say I love you. If you're leaving the house, we say I love you. It's and that's a environmental thing, which is like something that we have control over. It's like, what kind of, and going back to you remember how someone made you feel as opposed to what happened. It's like, my house is a loving place, and that's like really important to me.
I wholeheartedly agree.
And that's not.
Wholeheartedly agree.
I mean, especially on like the Barber side, like that wasn't. A lot of people afraid of being vulnerable, which ironically is to their detriment, and they don't know it, but they're making themselves vulnerable by doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much power in it, and it's definitely something you have to practice, because it's not easy. And I've been grateful to have been in therapy for 10 years and was able to do lots of practice on vulnerability. And now I'm taking that out into the world and doing a freaking podcast that makes me feel super vulnerable all the time.
Yeah, but again, like going back to, getting people to talk to you, it's like people don't appreciate how much courage it takes until they're asked to do it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, this is what our third time trying to do this, and there were times where I was like, man, like this is scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
Like I really hope I don't say something stupid. I hope I don't piss somebody off.
Yep.
I hope I don't sound like an idiot. Uh, people are going to listen to this that I don't know, or people are going to listen to this that see me in a different light.
Yeah, I think that's the one of the things that the people that have said no, that they've struggled with is that perception of that mask we put out there, and then underneath we have this other layer to us, and showing that other layer to more people is a vulnerable thing.
Yeah, well, and I know people who have completed suicide, things of that nature, and it's like if there is someone who listens to this that is struggling, doesn't know. I mean, I don't want to say doesn't know how to talk about it, because I think that's besides the point. I think it's that you can.
Yeah.
That's like an option. And if one person listens to that and like that's what sends them in a different direction, then it's like, then I'm an asshole for if I don't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're an asshole if you don't do it. I would never.
Well, again, this is going back to me being hard on myself.
Right. Yeah,
but
that's a little too hard. That's a little too hard.
It's a if you have the ability to make a difference to somebody, I feel like you do have an obligation.
Yeah.
Like my uncle's a doctor, and I'm not smart enough to be a doctor.
Yeah.
He is. So then the question is like, did he have an obligation to be a doctor?
Yeah. Are you obligated to use the gifts? Am I obligated to put out this podcast because it was in my brain for 6 years? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think kind of.
I do too. And I've said this before, like, there's a part of me that doesn't feel like it's me doing it, that it's like other forces. I don't know if you believe in that, but like a higher purpose, like a calling. I feel weird saying it that way, but I've never like, when I graduated high school, people asked you what you wanted to be. I had no fucking clue what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do. But like you said, I knew that I was drawn to taking care of people, to helping people, to be of service to other human beings, like what that looked like. And so I went and worked as a DSP with developmentally disabled individuals. And there was always like this stigma, like I should be doing more. I've never subscribed to I have 2 children going away to college. I've never subscribed to having to like pay the amount of money that is being required to pay.
Oh, it's insane. For
that education. Like, I don't know. So I've sort of always hated the systems that we live within and have boycotted the systems. But in order to live in this world, you have to participate in the systems. I can't go live on the Appalachian Trail somewhere in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, so I have to be a part of it. So I struggle with wanting to be a DSP and wanting to be a tech, these lower level positions. Like, this is where I want to be. But I can't make a living here. I can't thrive here because there's so much financial insecurity being here. I hate getting emotional about that. It's so frustrating that I can't just be a tech.
Well, Well, and that's as far as obligations go. I think we have different obligations to different sects of our life. So
Yeah.
like my obligation to my children is different than my obligation to helping other people.
Right.
Like they have to come first.
Yes, agreed.
Whether that's like right now in the job I have right now, I'm not doing any direct care. And like throughout my work in the mental health field, I've always been I've been kind of in the streets.
Yeah.
Whether that's care management, working one-on-one with people, working in housing, getting
Right.
people housed, things like that. Like I'm affecting people directly.
Right.
And I don't do that anymore. I'm a step removed. But I've climbed the ranks where now my kids can have a better quality of life
Right.
than I could have when I was giving direct care.
Right.
Which
But why
is
can't
important.
us folks in direct care be able to? And it's not even about affording a better quality of care. I can't even afford care.
It's the worth that society puts on it.
Right. Why?
That's
Like-
that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, I could go to school and further my education and be a social worker or be whatever, but I don't want to. I have no problems cleaning the showers so that a patient can, like, that's what I want to do. I want to be at this level. Like, you're telling me that this job still needs to happen and needs to exist, but the person doing it can't make a living wage doing it?
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
that is the word, because you're not making widgets.
Right.
Like it's not like I can say, all right, well my production was this much, therefore
Right.
I'm worth this much.
Right.
It's a number that society puts on it,
Right.
which we're not doing a good job of.
No.
When you look at, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like when the first two rungs aren't being
Right.
met, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, how can anybody's mental health be, and same thing for me, like, how can, managing anxiety and managing all of that when you don't have a place to live, when you can't afford food, and all those safety,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I had my son was born my junior year of high school. If circumstances were different, I have to drop out of high school because I have to take care of him. Like, both his mother's side of the family and my side of the family were completely all in with helping us. Whether that's watching them all, I still wrestled my senior year.
yeah,
That people in different circumstances that's not on the table.
right,
Like that's not an option.
right,
Now I have to go get a job immediately. I probably don't go back to school. I'm not sitting here talking to you about mental health
right,
because I wouldn't have gone down that track.
right,
And also I probably wouldn't be in a position where even that's on the table to consider.
right,
Like just mental health in general, be my own. Like so it does not, so much of where you end up is circumstance.
yeah,
And who you're surrounded by, which you don't always have a say in. I like to think that my kids are lucky that I'm their dad, but they didn't choose that. Like it could have been, circumstance could be completely different.
right. Yeah, I just was thinking about patients. Most of them don't have any support systems.
Right.
So we're judging them for having poor mental health, but you can't have adequate mental health if you don't have those basic human needs met. And that's where when we talked earlier about that love and belonging being on that Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, that's what I was talking about. Like, yeah. How do you...
This got sad.
Huh?
Said this got sad.
I have a way of doing that. Yeah, that's the world I've been living in and struggling with, and but I'm fortunate. I'm glad. I'm grateful to be in it. I'm grateful to be in that position, and I'll figure out how to financially. Like I want to stay in this position. I don't want to have to like do a million other things, you know. I don't want to have to go back to school in order to become a social worker or move higher up the chain. I don't want to. I want to stay as a direct support person.
Well, and sometimes I think too, we think we have certain goals and then we get there and it's like, oh, I don't feel any different.
Yeah.
Like, and then you kind of get nostalgic for the days when you were kind of in the mud.
Mm-hmm. If you have anything, other directions, any other topics, any other points, if you want to wrap it up.
Sure. We should probably should we 3, 2, 1 it and then
break. I just want to say thank you again for coming on this show.
No, this has been great. Have me back whenever you want.
And having the conversation. Yeah, I think there'll be some follow-ups. Yeah. I appreciate you sitting with me in my tears.
Yeah, no problem.
And my frustration, and it's very therapeutic. I appreciate it. I love that you were willing to come on here and share your experiences and life.
Yeah, and again, I think, especially as like men, like my son's 19, and I look at the kind of image that like kids his age, you know, young men are getting, like what it is to be a man, you know, in the aspect of, you know, material things and being tough and getting women and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's such bullshit. And that like being vulnerable is being a man, and like talking about your mental health is like a brave, manly thing to do.
Yeah.
Not saying that, you know, being brave is gender specific, but
right.
It's not.
I think anytime you do something you're afraid to do, it's being brave. And talking about your mental health is definitely something a lot of people are afraid to do. Yeah,
and I think that as there's this kind of epidemic with young men of just isolation and insecurity, but not being vulnerable enough to get rid of it. Because being insecure is something that it's going to be in you until you say it out loud. Like not talking about it gives it power. So I think just we need to be more open to having conversations.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the world would be a very different place if that was the case. And sometimes to be called out in your bullshit, like I think that's okay too. You know, definitely something that I need every once in a while.
Yeah, that's definitely something you get from therapy. In a professional, respectful way is when you do have these conversations, like you get to reflect on and maybe like the stories you're telling yourself in your head, once you talk about it, like you get a different perspective.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
No, it's just the struggle feeds on isolation. Like that's the air that the fire needs. So I think, you know, letting it out and talking to people and being, you know, call your friend and tell him you love him. Like it's okay. Like,
yeah, I was going to ask you your list that you read off that's on your phone. Do you get a chance to reach out to someone every day?
I try to.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as I should be.
Yeah. I'm sure with everything on the list, and that's why you have the list as a reminder.
Right, yeah, it's reminders.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a core group of friends that I talk to every day in some capacity, but I try to make it a point to because I think that I'm sure you've had this where you've been like, well, I'm not going to talk to them. Like if they cared, they'd reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, well, they're probably thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how many friendships do you just lose not
Mm-hmm.
because of animosity, just because
Mm-hmm.
of lack of effort?
Mm-hmm. I think for me, one of the things that stops me is like, oh no, they're busy. I don't want to bother them.
No, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I know that, they're dealing with this, or they've got this going on, or they already have, this job, and I'm not going to add to it. I don't want to burden them with my problems. I don't want to call you up and burden you with all of my troubles. That's what I battle.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, all right. Whoever's listening to this, your homework is to reach out to someone you haven't talked to in
Yeah.
6 months.
I like that plan.
Just say hi, just check in. It could
Yeah.
just be a text, like somebody that's come across, your thoughts, just kind of daydream, like, oh, I wonder what they've been up to. Like, just say hi.
Pull the trigger.
Just do it.
Just pull and reach out.
It's
I
good
love
for
that. That's great advice. Thank you so much for being here and being on the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.